It ended up resulting in a loss, but how would you describe just the takeaway overall from that fight, and what did you learn from it?
That they were in the American Conference last year and they won conference before they came to the SEC. So we're not just talking about any team here. We know that they went to 6 games with Indiana, so they were dealing with a lot of injuries. And Chris Middleton, he's going to be a big part of really bringing this team together, especially pushing it if they want to face off against the Celtics. When you have that big three, you have Giannis, you have Dame, who we know that can catch fire. He can score 30 on any given night. He can also give you great defense.
I heard your coach saying, get back, full court press, get steals on the sideline. So how much pride do you guys take in defense on this team? And there's just nothing that you can do to stop this State College team. They've been hitting on all cylinders all night. Offensively, defensively, getting interceptions, diving on the ground for the ball. And now State College kicker is here to give them an extra point to make it 50-0. Anybody that loves the game of basketball, anybody that just loves competition in general is going to be content with any finals matchup that we get. And a lot of people were underestimating the series, and it has overachieved everyone's expectations. And for some athletes at Penn State, the road to success has a few more hurdles. That's because of their physical disabilities. But the university's adaptive athletics team is growing and reaching new heights after a pause during the pandemic. Francie Ebert has their story. Also, they're dealing with injuries. Chris Middleton still has not yet to play this season. You know, we're talking about second or third option here. Before Dame even came into the picture, he was a second option.
You're also a father, right? So what does fatherhood mean to you? Like having your son that can look up to you and just seeing all the great things that you're doing with boxing and also outside of boxing. What legacy do you want to leave for him?
Ohio State faced a lot of criticism after losing to Michigan. I mean, that was their fourth straight loss against them in that matchup. So the fact that they came back, like you said, and won this national championship title speaks volume for Ryan Day and this offensive team, this defensive team, all in all, and they'll come back next year. The Eagles, they've been having a rocky last 2 losses, but we still know who they are. They have Saquon, they have Jalen Hurts, they have championship pedigree. So it's going to come down to how they play the rest of the season. And thank you guys for tuning into this segment of Woman on the Street Super Bowl edition. And of course, I think Jalen Hurts is a top 5 quarterback after winning the Super Bowl. It was a great game overall. I feel like both defenses came up big in the game. You're talking about 2 top defenses in the league. Saints has been exceptional on defense. And Derek Carr, he's shown up every single game, even with the loss. Like, he's come out game 1, game 2, and game 3 and shown that he can be a contender quarterback in this league. But the pressure is on Penn State. We talk about them losing to that Oregon game, and then they host their first playoff game at home. It's going to be a cold night, but the pressure's on him and James Franklin. I mean, when you look at all of these games where they haven't showed up big, especially the big games against Ohio State, against Oregon, they've underachieved. So when you go into these games, the SMUs, and if they go past it and play Boise State, these are games that they're expected to win.
Your career came to an end, unfortunately, due to a detached retina. So for the people that are watching, if they might not know what that is, could you explain to them what it is and how did that happen?
Just a little too careless with that ball there. The defender was fronting her, so she wasn't able to quite complete that pass, but good thing for State High that they get the ball back. Shay's been doing this thing all series, but Jalen really needed to step up to really get OKC over the hump. And he did just that. He scored 40 points, and we know what he can do. He was a first-time All-Star this season, so he's capable of pulling up those numbers. But I don't think anyone expected him to score 40. He's going into his second year on the Bucks. Giannis, he's the leading scorer for that team. Brooke Lopez, Chris Middleton, these are vital pieces to that Bucks team. And then you say that Chris Middleton hasn't been available, but last season in the playoffs, he was the leading scorer for that Bucks team, averaging over 23 points per game. Big names like Angel Reese, Sabrina Ionescu, Arika Ogunbowale, and many more are participating in this league. And it was created by 2 superstars in the WNBA, Breanna Stewart and Afisa Collier. It was a close game, and Tyrann Mathieu, our star safety, did miss the tackle on Saquon Barkley's 61-yard touchdown. And I'm here to tell you right now, if he wouldn't have missed that tackle, it would have been a totally different ball game. You go into the Olympics expecting it to be grand, seeing so many people, the fans, the athletes, everywhere you go, but then you go into this new environment where COVID is around.
Yeah.
You're isolated. You can only eat by yourself, go to practice by yourself. So how was that mentally for you?
Too many players on their
It's
team.
too many.
Like
Too many good
it's
players.
too many good players, and it's also too many players that will produce on the court. So they just need to make some changes in the offseason, trade some players, whether it's for a superstar to get some people out, or whether they just cut down on their roster and have a good core group that can actually give them production.
You have a great game. I love your playing style. You're aggressive. You get to the rim. So how would you describe your playing style?
To the Bills defeating the Chiefs' undefeated season. Now, in that game, Josh Allen, he accounted for 317 total yards on 2 touchdowns, and Mahomes, he finished with 196 yards, which was the fewest he's ever had in any game against the Bills in his career or a regular season.
Wow, and now that makes it 13 touchdowns for him on this season. And that was just too easy for State College. No one was guarding him. He practically just walked himself right into the end zone for another touchdown.
I know you train younger boxers, so if you had to give any advice, any old school advice, I would say, to the young cats, coming up and that want to pursue this career, what would you tell them?
4 touchdowns? Come on now, 4 touchdowns with 289 yards. He ran the ball well. He didn't have any fumbles. He was very efficient. And we're starting to see the Patrick Mahomes that we all know who he could be. To embrace it, right? You show the world, that you have this, diagnosis, and that it doesn't stop you from being who you are. You still play the game that you love. You play the sport that you love, and you're real. It shows that we're human, right?
Yes.
We all have things about us that aren't going to be perfect. So I love that about you.
Exactly. Thank you.